Hello, I'm Jack from Chartfords. I'd like to take this opportunity to show you a presentation. The person that's asked you to view this is obviously wishing to share the opportunity offered to you by Chartfords, and this really is a fantastic opportunity. So what I'll do is I'll take you through the presentation. I'll try to help explain how the system works and why the system works. Then at the end of this, hopefully the person that's asked you to view this can log on to the site live and can show you that it is working. So anyhow, this is the presentation. Welcome to Chartfords. Chartfords is an automated e-commerce art gallery specialising in museum quality limited edition prints and high quality canvases. Using the internet as our shop window allows Chartfords to offer fine art to a worldwide audience 24/7 while keeping the overheads low. The traditional way would have been to open shops or offices or galleries in this case in every major city around the world if you wanted to trade worldwide, which would be hugely expensive. The internet allows that while also keeping the overheads low. It's important to the company to keep the overheads low, as you'll see why as we go through this presentation. Chartfords has created a revolution in internet marketing by introducing its exclusive members club, utilising the two most exciting phenomena in the last decade, which are customer loyalty points and cashback. Many companies are using this now. Most supermarkets, filling stations, lots of people advertising on the TV are using customer loyalty points and cashback. Chartfords have combined these with its own unique marketing programme, giving its members an unparalleled opportunity to receive outstanding short, medium and long-term rewards. Membership is invitation only. To join, you must be invited by an existing member, and that's the only way you can become part of the reward programme, is to be invited by someone that's already a member. As a company, Chartfords is registered in Canada as Chartfords Incorporated. Therefore, all monetary figures given in this presentation will be in Canadian dollars. Now, I know a lot of people are not used with Canadian dollars, but it's going to talk in multiples of 200 Canadian dollars, and 200 Canadian dollars is about 126, 127 pounds. Depends on the exchange rate at any given time. So art in the gallery starts at 200 Canadian dollars, and each time you spend $200 in the gallery, you'll be buying a piece of art, and that piece of art belongs to you and is sent to you. But you'd also be given a free reward point. So if you spent $400, you may still be buying one piece of art, just a larger or a rarer piece of art, but you'd be given 2 free points. If you spent $2,000, you'd be given 10 free points, and so on. All free points enter our unique reward program. And each time one of your points completes the program, you will receive rewards of $1,250. Now we know this sounds a little too good to be true. You can buy a quality product, and it really is a quality product. They're museum quality pieces of limited edition art. Some of it even now supplied by the BBC. So it really is very collectible material. You'll also be given a free point, and on its completion you'll receive rewards of $1,250. Please bear with me and we'll explain how that works. These rewards can be paid directly into your bank account anywhere in the world and will arrive in the currency of your account. So it's real money that's paid directly into your bank account and will arrive in the currency of your nominated bank account. All members receive exactly the same rewards per point. There's no hierarchy. The programme is equal for all. You can be an active member. That's someone that invites others to join. They share the opportunity with their friends and family. Or you can be a passive member. That's someone that doesn't. Be a secret member if you want to be. It makes no difference to the amount you can receive from each point. You can, however, take control of how quickly you receive your rewards by being an active member. So if you decide to be active and share this opportunity with your friends, then you can take control of your business and you can get your rewards quicker. You don't get more, you just receive your rewards quicker. Reward points first qualify for an interim payment of $250, then qualify for a final payment of $1,000. Each completed point will have given you 2 payments. So for each completed point you receive a total of $1,250. So as a member, you can purchase a limited edition piece of fine art from our gallery for $200 and receive 1 free point. You will enter Chartfords reward program, and on its completion you will receive rewards totaling $1,250. No other opportunity in the world today can deliver the kind of rewards offered to you as a member of Chartfords. If you have 10 points completed, you would have received 12,500. If you have 20 points completed, you would have received 25,000. There's no limit to the number of points you can earn. When a point receives its final payment, it is complete and will not receive any further reward. So once a point's completed, it's then dead within the program. It will never receive another reward. As an extra bonus, each time one of your points completes the program, Chartfords will give you a new free point. This new free point will then enter the program, attaching to existing points, and begins the cycle again. So you cannot run out of points. Part of your reward, your final payment, is to be given a new free point that then enters the program. Because we know this sounds a little too good to be true, and because people find it a little difficult to believe, we've made the reward program completely transparent. You can view the points of all members and see exactly how it's working for each one. The decision to make the reward program transparent means no member can mislead another with incorrect information, as all have equal access to the program. So you can go in and you can see exactly how it's working for everyone else. For every other member, you can see exactly what's happening for them. And we felt it important to make the program completely transparent. Laws of attachment. All points enter the program, and all points enter the same program. It doesn't matter from where in the world they come from. Points enter the same program following the laws of attachments. Free points enter the program attaching to existing points, and points require attachments to qualify for rewards, and we'll show you exactly how many shortly. Points attached to existing points follow in a binary progression, meaning each point can have a maximum of 2 points directly attached. And you'll see how that works in a moment. All points enter the same program, but odd and even numbered points separate. So obviously if you're given 10 points, they're numbered in sequence from 1 to 10. From those numbers, 1, 3, 5, 7 and 9 are odd numbers. So we would call those your odd numbered points. 2, 4, 6, 8 and 10 are even numbers, so we will call those your even numbered points. Your odd numbered points will attach to the member that introduced you to Chartfords, attaching to their lowest numbered uncompleted point. These points still belong to you, and all rewards they receive are yours. Your odd points would attach to the person that introduced you to the program, giving them immediate attachments. But we're not giving your odd points to your introducer. Those points still belong to you, and all rewards they receive are yours. Your even points fill the earliest space available in the program, and they would actually attach to the points of other members. This will give you an example. Imagine, this is a section of the program, but imagine you decide to call yourself Mr. Blue. Everyone that joins the program decides on a name to call themselves within the program. Some members choose their real name, some members choose a nickname or initials, just whatever you feel comfortable with, provided it's not offensive to someone else, the company allows it. So imagine you decide to join the program and call yourself Mr. Blue. You join Chartfords, you spend $2,000 in the gallery, the art that you've bought is sent to you. You own the art, that belongs to you. But you'd also be given 10 free points. And your free points will then enter the program. Your odd numbered points, 1, 3, 5, 7 and 9, enter the program attaching to your introducer's lowest numbered uncompleted point. Their working point identified here with a W. Now what we're looking at is a section of the program. Along the bottom layer, there's 4 points. On the layer above, there's 2 points attached to each one of the 4 that's on the bottom layer. So there's 8 points. Then the third layer has started to come through, and it's halfway through at the moment. And if you look along there, there's a point with a W, and that's the working point of your introducer, the member that introduced you to Chartfords, and it's their lowest numbered uncompleted point. Your 1 and 3, they're all points attached in a binary order. So 1 and 3 would attach filling the first layer. Then 5, 7 and 9 must get as close as possible to your introducer's working point, so they start to fill the second layer. Actually, attaching directly, your 5 and 7 have filled the first layer above your number 1, and your number 9 have started to fill the first layer above your number 3. All your points are being attracted to your introducer's working point. It acts like a magnet for any odd numbered points that member introduces. Your even numbered points fill the earliest space available in the program, and they're attaching to the points of other members. So the layers always fill from left to right. So working left along the layer that your even points have loaded onto, there are no spaces, and on the layers below there are no spaces, so no one can jump the queue. You can see here how the binary progression works. Each point can have a maximum of 2 points directly attached. So it doesn't matter where in the program the point lands, it can have a maximum of 2 points directly attached to it. Then those 2 points can have a maximum of 2 points attached. It's called binary progression. Your odd points have attached to your introducer, giving your introducer immediate attachments. And if you look along the layer that your introducer's point has loaded on, no other points have got attachments on that layer. Your introducer was active, therefore giving themselves attachments early. Your even points have attached to the points of other members, giving them attachments. Evens always load to the highest possible position within the program, attaching to the points of other members. This is a people help people business. Just by taking part, you're helping all other members, and all other members are helping you. When the next member is given points, they're odd points attached to their introducer, they're even points attached to the earliest space available. This is now behind your even numbered points. And it doesn't matter where in the world that member comes from, the points enter the same program. Going now behind yours. Their odd points stack on top of the member that's introduced them, so you can always see the active members. And now that the layer that contains your even points has completed, you can see that it's completed that layer, there's no spaces for any more points, a new layer starts to come through. These are even points loading to the earliest possible space they can at the time they joined. In this example, we're going to make you an active member, but we'll also show you what happens if you're not an active member. But you decide to show a friend and he's going to call himself Mr. Green. He spends 4,800 in the gallery and he's given 24 free points. His art's sent out to him, he owns his art. But his points will then enter the program. Now Mr. Green's odd numbered points will attach as close as possible to your lowest numbered uncompleted point, because you're his introducer. Your 5 and 7 have already filled the first layer above your working point, the lowest numbered point that you own that hasn't completed, which is your number 1. So Mr. Green's first odds, 1, 3, 5 and 7, must attach as close as possible, so they will fill the second layer above your working point. Mr. Green's remaining odd numbered points will attach, filling the third layer above your working point. Your number 1 point is 3 layers filled, it turns gold and you receive an interim payment of 250. That's what qualifies a point for an interim payment. 3 layers directly filled above it. And you can see yours is the only point in this example with 3 layers directly filled above it. So you're the only member that's received an interim payment at the moment. Mr. Green's even numbered points attach in the earliest spaces available, filling the spaces left by the odd numbered points and attaching to the points of other members. And you can see now that other members are starting to receive interim payments. When a point has 3 layers filled, it turns gold and qualifies for an interim payment of 250. When a point has 4 layers filled, it turns black and qualifies for a final payment of $1,000. There are no points on this example at the moment that have 4 layers filled, so none of them have turned black and received a final payment. As other members are given points, they enter the program in exactly the same way. Their odd points attached to their introducers, their even points fill the earliest spaces available. And when this layer completes, a new layer will begin. Even points coming along, filling the spaces that were left by the odds. odd points attaching to their introducers, so we can always see who the active members are and they're triggering themselves payments quicker. You decide to show another friend. They call themselves Mrs. Pink and she spends 6,400 on art in the gallery and is given 32 free points. Mrs. Pink's 16 odd numbered points will attach as close as possible to your lowest numbered uncompleted point, which is still your number one. It's the fourth layer. It's binary, so there'll be 16 points along that fourth and final layer. Mrs. Pink's 16 even numbered points fill the earliest spaces available, and they come along loading into the earliest possible space available at the time she joins. Your number one point has got 4 layers filled. It now turns black and you receive a final payment of $1,000, and your number one is completed. It's now finished in the program and cannot earn any more from the program. You have received a total of 1,250 from your number one point. It's complete and will not earn any further rewards. Your number two is now your working point and will attract any new odd points of members you introduce or have introduced to the program. So your number two's there. It's already got a W next to it because it's now the lowest numbered point that you own that hasn't completed. It's already got 2 layers filled, so any new odd numbered points that you introduce would now attach fill in the 3rd layer. In this example, you've also triggered 2 interim payments of 250 each for your number 5 and number 7 points, because they're attached directly to your number 1. So when your number 1 has 4 layers filled, your 5 and 7 automatically have 3 layers filled, giving them interim payments. In this example, it was your points, the way your points loaded into the program. Sometimes you'll find it's the points of other members. That's how the system works. Sometimes you're helping other members. Sometimes it's your own points, obviously depending on how many points you have within the program. But this control process is repeated each time members are given points. Each time a layer completes, a new one begins. Even points coming along fill in the spaces left by the odds. Odd points continue to stack on top of the members that's introducing them. All points with 3 layers filled turn gold and receive interim payments of 250. All points with 4 layers filled turn black and receive final payments of $1,000. Your even numbered points now have 3 layers filled. They all turn gold. You had 5 of them, so you receive 5 interim payments of 250. That's another payment of 1,250. Each time a layer completes, a new one begins, and in this example we just wipe the bottom off. It's dead. It cannot earn any more from the program. The program dies from the bottom. Each time a layer completes, a new one begins. Even points fill in the spaces, odd points attaching to their introducers. And this layer goes through. Mr. Green's even numbered points are all getting 3 layers filled. They all turn gold. He had 12 of them, so he receives 12 interim payments. So Mr. Green gets a payment of $3,000. At the same time, your even points are on the layer below. They're all now getting 4 layers filled. They all turn black. You receive 5 final payments, so you get another payment of $5,000. And your even points have now completed the program. Again, each time a layer completes, a new one begins. Even points coming along fill in the spaces left by the odds. Odd points continue to stack on top of the introducers. Mrs. Pink's even numbered points are all now getting 3 layers filled. They all turn gold. She receives 16 interim payments of 250, so she gets a first payment of $4,000. At the same time, Mr. Green's evens were all on the layer below. He had 12 of them, so he receives 12 final payments, so he gets another payment of $12,000. And Mr. Green's evens have all completed the program. Each time a layer completes, a new one begins. Even points fill in the spaces, odd points attaching to their introducers. You can see now your odd points are also completing the program. But as this layer goes through, Mrs. Pink's even numbered points all now complete the program. They've got 4 layers filled. She had 16 of them, so she receives 16 final payments. She gets another payment of $16,000. And this is the really important part. Please note, Mr. Green and Mrs. Pink have not introduced any members, but still receive rewards of 1,250 for each completed point. There is no hierarchy. The program is completely transparent and is equal for all. And I see this type of thing happening pretty regular. Someone like Mrs. Pink came along to a meeting, or their friend showed them at home. They got excited, they joined the program, they bought their art, and they now decided they're going to tell all the family. The problem is they don't fully understand how the program works. So they make mistakes when they're trying to explain it. And because it sounds too good to be true, Mrs. Pink's family and her friends may have thought she was crazy. So you've bought this art and you think you're going to actually earn some money from this program. And so they didn't join. They wouldn't even take a look, which is a little sad at times. But however, it does happen. But now Mrs. Pink has got a story. Now Mrs. Pink can say to them, look, remember the program I told you about a while ago where I bought the art? And they say, oh yeah. And she says, it's the art that's hanging on the walls and I really enjoy it. She says, but that's what I got paid into my bank today. And now Mrs. Pink says, there's a meeting down the road next week. Would you like to come along and see how this business works? And Mrs. Pink turns up with half her family and friends with her. And she now becomes an active member. And that's one of the things that really make this program work, that as passive members start to receive payments, the vast majority, a very, very high percentage, decide to share it with their friends and family. And often it doesn't take final payments. If they've triggered some interim payments, they suddenly decide, oh, this is great, and start to tell their friends and family, and they've got a story. But that really is one of the things that makes this system work. There are other things that make it work, which I'll show you shortly. But that really is an important part of the program. Now, if you understood all of that the first time through, you've done really well. If you've got an idea, a part of the concept that we're trying to get across, then you've done pretty well. But you can always view this again. You can view it as many times as you like. That's pretty much how the program works. Now I better tell you why it works. In our example, you spent $2,000 in the gallery and were given 10 free points. Your number 1 point completed through your own activity, because you were an active member, but then you stopped being active. You introduced your 2 friends and didn't introduce anyone else, which would be unusual, because once a person's active, they usually continue to tell their friends. Then we saw your even numbered points complete. As the layers filled, we also saw your odd points completed, which means you would have received rewards totaling 12,500. Mr. Green spent 4,800 in the gallery and was given 24 free points. We only saw half his points complete. We saw his 12 even numbered points complete, the points that loaded to the earliest possible space at the time he joined. But he's already received 15,000 in rewards, so he's doing really well. Mrs. Pink, a similar story. She spent 6,400 in the gallery, was given 32 free points. We only saw half of those points complete, the 16 even numbered points that loaded to the earliest possible space. So Mrs. Pink still got a 16 odd points to complete, so she's got a further 20,000 to come from those odd points. But don't forget, when a 16 evens, same as Mr. Green, when their even points completed, they were given a new free point for each completed point. So Mrs. Pink still has 32 points within the program that are still to complete. So she has in fact got $40,000 still to come from the program. And with Mr. Green and Mrs. Pink's odd points still to complete, and the new points given with each final payment, don't forget you've got 10 new points in the program. You all have many more rewards to come. Support bonus. This is what really makes this program really travel, and travel quickly. For our active members, we've also created support bonus payment. So if you're active, there's another payment that you can qualify for. Each time a member you introduce receives a final payment of $1,000, you will receive a support bonus payment of $200. In the example we used, Mr. Green received 12 final payments and Mrs. Pink received 16 final payments, which means you would have received support bonus payments of $5,600. It's payable per point, not per member, so it really does add up. Add this to the 12,500 rewards from your own points, giving you a total so far of 18,100. And if this is not enough to encourage you to share this opportunity with your friends and family, we've made our support bonus payments pay up to 10 generations. Every member you introduce, and you can introduce as many as you like, would be on your first generation. Anyone you introduce is always on your first generation. Any members introduced by the members on your first generation become your second generation, and so on. And as I've said, there's no limit to the number of members you can introduce. Support bonus is paid in the following amounts. The closer to you it is, the more you had to do with it, the more you get paid. So if you've introduced the member, when they have a point completes the program, you would receive a support bonus payment of $200. Anyone introduced by the members that you introduce, when they receive a final payment, you would receive a support bonus payment of $100. And it goes down the 10 generations. And sometimes I've seen people look at this and they think 9th and 10th generation, $5. Is it really worth having? Well, believe me, if you decide to build a business here, by the time it gets down to 10 generations, there can be thousands and thousands of points on those generations. And each time one of them completes, you receive $5. And they can be from the points of members in different countries. Members that you're not likely to meet or probably won't know. It's basically you told someone that then told someone that told someone that told someone that went down 10 generations. It really is powerful. And this is what I tend to call the power of the program. Each time a point completes the program, the 2 points that would attach directly to it on the layer directly above would automatically turn gold and receive interim payments. Then support bonus payments will be triggered up to 10 generations, which means each time 1 point completes the program, 13 different members can be receiving payments. And with up to 13 members receiving payments each time a point completes, you can see why our membership continues to grow. The payment process. How do we make these payments to our members? Well, as I've said earlier, the program's completely transparent, but the company make it transparent at how all the payments are made, and people can monitor the system and see exactly what's going on all the time. And this is exactly how it's done. It's always the 16 points that fill the fourth and final layer of a point that trigger the payments. So when these 16 points enter the program, we know that 16 times 200 has been spent in the gallery, which means there must be 3,200 in the bank. Artists and production costs. That's what it costs to produce the art and pay the artist. Comes to $640. Final payment to the member. The member that's receiving a final payment, that payment is taken care of there. 2 interim payments of $250 each, come to $500. Support bonus, the 10 generations, total $440. Program allowance for new point awarded. The member that receives the final payment is going to be given a new free point. It's free to the member, but that point's going to enter the program and help to trigger a payment for another member. So the company has to set aside the money towards that payment, which is $200. Web maintenance, development and profit comes to $420. That's what the company look for each time. That's what they pay for the website, pay for the development, pay for their offices, pay the staff members, whatever it takes to run the company is looked after from that $420, which is actually less than 14% of the turnover. And this is repeated. Another 16 points enter the program. There'll be a final payment, 2 interim payments. The money goes through exactly the same process each time. Another 16 points enter the program. Again, there'll be a final payment, 2 interim payments. Again, the money goes through exactly the same process. It is a controlled process. The company never promised to make a payment that they cannot make. The money is always there to make the payment when the payment is due to the member. So you can see it's always done from this controlled process. And it really is an important slide, that. Why do we do it? Well, in traditional marketing, the product you purchase may have gone through many steps before it gets from the manufacturer to you, the customer. And these are just some examples. Sometimes there's more, sometimes there can be less. But manufacturer, import, exporter, wholesaler, distributor, retailer, to you, the customer. Each of these steps involves costs and has to generate profits for the person or organisation involved. Additionally, in traditional marketing, a significant amount is spent on promotion or advertising. This is particularly true when it comes to informing the customer of new products. TV, radio and traditional advertising is hugely expensive. There has to be a better way. The Chartfords way. At Chartfords we bypass most of the supply chain, eliminating most of these traditional costs. We do not utilise expensive advertising campaigns to promote our products. Our members are our marketing arm. And we use the oldest and most successful form of advertising, which is personal recommendation and word of mouth. And we go straight from the manufacturer or us, the company that manufactures the art, to you, the customer. And the huge savings made can be passed on to our members through our unique reward program. This is a better way. So why Chartfords? Well, there are over 160 million fine art galleries on the internet. Only one offers its members an opportunity to obtain financial rewards for purchasing art. By 2020, Chartfords aims to be the online premier choice for fine art and quality products in the world. Chartfords aims to have a presence in every country with its website translated into many languages. Chartfords is the #1 online opportunity for anyone wishing to build a future for themselves and their family with financial security. The Chartfords approach to business is one of fairness and equality. Its success is dependent on your success. It's important to the company that its members are successful. Members benefit from unparalleled financial rewards. Artists benefit from global exposure whilst receiving commissions from worldwide sales. The company benefits from exponential growth and expands its membership. It's a win-win for all. There's no joining fee and membership is free for the first year, so it's free to join. Thereafter, it's $250 per annum, provided you've received at least $1,000 in rewards. If you haven't, it's free and will remain free until you have. And this, I feel, is quite important. You'll never pay a membership in this company until you have received rewards. You will know that the business works for you before you're ever asked to pay a membership. And it's a membership per member, not per point. You can have hundreds of points paid within the program, but you would only ever pay one membership fee. There's no need to introduce new members to receive rewards, but why not give others the opportunity you've been given? That's all we say. It's an opportunity. Let your friends have a look. Let them decide for themselves. There's no hierarchy. All members are equal and receive the same 1,250 rewards for each completed point. When your point turns black, it's complete and will not earn any further rewards. But don't forget, Chartfords will give you a new free point every time one of your points completes the program. There's no catch. There's no hidden fees or stock to buy. There's no paperwork. There's no deliveries, and there's no collecting money. Everything's done online. If you like paperwork, you can print it all off. If you don't like paperwork, everything's stored online for you. We give you your own personal online office with all the facilities you need to run your business. This isn't transparent. This is your own personal online office, which is very secure. You have your own account ID number and your own password. That's the only way you can access your account. Again, we give you your own personal online holding account to review your rewards and payments. Again, this is personal to you. As soon as you join us, you can view the program and see exactly how it's working for each member. You can view all points. The program is completely transparent. Chartfords give you the opportunity to grow a massive business at your own pace without targets or penalties. To find out more, talk to the person that invited you to this presentation. They're already a member and are inviting you to join. Join us today and be part of a rapidly growing group of people that are helping themselves and others. Chartfords, share the success. I'd like to thank you for taking the time out to view this presentation. Please feel free to view it as many times as you like. I know it sometimes is a little difficult to believe, sounds a little too good to be true, but the member that's asked you to view this presentation will be able to log on to the site and be able to prove to you that the system works and show you the transparency until you feel comfortable yourself. So please feel free to check it out, feel free to view this presentation again, and I hope to see you again in the future.